Happy New Year, everyone. My prayer for us all is that we gain clarity from God on what our purpose on this earth is and how He wants us to make impact. We stay healthy physically and emotionally. We achieve beyond our expectations, and we find peace, love, fulfillment, and contentment in all that we do. Amen. So, every year brings with it new or enhanced learnings on different areas of our lives. And 2021 was no different. Whilst it had many downs, there were also a lot of ups. So today my guest and I are going to look at some of the learnings from 2021. Then we'll attempt to recommend how we should prioritize these learnings so we don't get bogged down and stuck trying to chart what we want our 2022 to look like. And as some of you may already know, my guest today is Yewande Adewusi. Yewande Adewusi is the Regional Director, Africa for BBC Global News. She has had an extensive career in financial services and a wealth of experience in strategy, marketing, and business development, having previously worked for major brands such as Airtel, Afina, UBA, and Pfizer. She is also a non-executive director with Tangerine Money. And more importantly, she's one of my trusted friends and sounding boards on all areas of my life. So she's actually quite perfect for this topic. Welcome, Yewande.
Thank you for having me.
It really is nice to have you here today. So, let's delve right in. What are your top 3 learnings for 2021?
2021, 3 key things I've learned is that we are more resilient than we think we are. Mm-hmm. 2, we are social beings, and social interaction is very important. Okay. So adding another year of, locking down was not going to really happen for any of us properly.
Very true.
And lastly, I know it's a buzzword, but self-care is so important. The power of saying no and just prioritizing yourself is so important.
Very, very true, mm-hmm. because you cannot give from an empty barrel.
That's right. That's right.
So it really is very important. So we're social beings, and that has become more heightened because COVID meant that we had to stay indoors, and we now realize that we actually need that. We feed off that interaction.
Definitely.
And then self-care, again, COVID has helped us understand how important self-care is. And again, the resilience, I'm assuming, is connected to the whole COVID
you can get
thing.
things done. The things you'd say, I can't do this because I can't travel. Like my job, Regional Director Africa, mm-hmm. you'd think I'd be traveling all over the place. Mm-hmm. COVID, I couldn't do it. Am I going to say I'm not going to get my work done? No, you've got to get it done. Children have to go to school. Oh, there's no, they're locked down. Are they not going to get educations? They're going to get educations. They figured it out. We as parents figured it out. Teachers figured it out. True. And so we just can do a lot more with, I don't want to say a lot less, but just in the restrictions. Mm. So you can just either decide it's going to completely bog you down, mm-hmm. or you're just going to say, we move. And that's my new mantra as well. 2021, that became my hashtag. Every time my team, my family, anything's going on, okay, we move.
Yeah,
and we keep
very,
going.
very true.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people's hashtag was we move. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, like you said, we're resilient. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning of every new year, everybody has New Year's resolutions. Yeah. So I'd like to understand, is there a correlation between New Year's resolutions and learnings?
For me, I decided to stop this whole thing of New Year's resolutions. I decided to think about how what I'm going to do in the year aligns with my purpose, or around the different facets of the purpose. So, you have different pillars. You have your career goals, your development goals, your family goals, your even lifestyle health goals. Mm-hmm. So there are different pillars that are backing us all the time. Mm. So I've decided that in terms of looking at the previous year's resolutions and the ones coming up, it's about how is it aligning with your purpose.
Yeah.
So if you're not, I think that's what we need to be doing. If you're not feeling healthy, as much as we say, oh, we're going to lose weight this year and everything else, it's about staying healthy. When your bones, I mean, we won't say how old we are these days, but these days, it's not like before oh, I'm going to a party and I'm going to not eat and then I'll be slim for the party. No, it's going to take more than that.
Yep.
So you just find that you'll lose weight and you'll gain it back. And it's not even a problem. Don't even hold yourself on that. But it's all about those goals. I want to be healthy. I'm doing it because I need to be healthy. Or it's vanity. When I'm slim, it makes me more confident. So you need to own those type of things. Personally, I think definitely reflect on what happened and how it aligns with where you're going in all facets of your life. Some things you need to drop, some things you won't achieve, and it's fine. And I think that's the main thing that's a bit of self-care as well. Before we beat ourselves up, oh, I didn't get the promotion, or I didn't do this, and I didn't spend enough time, I didn't lose weight, or I didn't spend enough time with my friends. And it's a case of, look, the friends that really love you are going to understand life is just what it is, and I love you from wherever I am, and we'll fix that. So I think it's about not beating yourself up, but just rejigging. What did I achieve? Where are the gaps? What are the resources I need to fill those gaps? Because you can't achieve goals without certain resources. We all think that it's either time resources, money resources, support. resources. I'm like, when I don't have things structured, there's no way I'm achieving my goals. So the first thing I have, once I have my family sorted, because you have things that are very important to you. My family must not drop, those type of things, and my children and my husband. So it's like, once I have structure there, I can go on with other things like my career, hanging out with my friends and all that. My friends are my backbone as well. And so it's like, when I drop them, there's certain people that won't drop, but you can pick up the phone and you can quickly do what you got to do, and then you feel supported. And also just rejigging friendship circles. So you know me, I've got a lot of them, but they all have their purpose in my life. So when someone is not aligning with where I need to go in this priority in this moment, then I just put them down. I love you still. 100%. But it's not working for me right now, and I can't deal with you right now, and we just need to keep it moving, and then I'll pick you up. We'll pick each other up, actually.
Exactly.
It's not me picking you up, we're picking each other up.
And it's understanding, like you said, understanding what your purpose is. Like I said at the beginning, when I hope everybody heard my prayer, because for me it's really important for us to set the tone, and one of the things that's most important is understanding purpose. And like you said, you have to make sure you know your purpose and align your learnings or your resolution to what your purpose is. And that actually takes me to the next question, which is, are all learnings relevant?
I think all learnings are relevant, because
How so?
You don't want a situation where you're ignoring something that's happened. Why? Because you might repeat the error again. It might be a positive learning, but it might be a negative one. So you need to just reflect on it and just say, okay, this happened. Do I want that to happen again? Certain things you want to keep repeating. So what did I do? Which path did I take that I had this positive experience? So you want that to stay there, as I will always do that, to experience that again. There's certain things that I don't want to experience, not in the worst. I don't even want that might happen to my enemy. So you have to, what did you do? What path did you take? What choices did you make? What decisions did you take that led to that experience? So you must reflect on those things, I think. Not hold on to them. Don't beat yourself up. Just say,
that's where I was going to go to.
I don't want it to happen again. So what did I do? What choices did I make that led to that outcome?
How do you then, so you've said all learnings are relevant because they help you determine what to do next and how to rejig if you need to. But like 2021 had a myriad of learnings. Some of them came from good experiences. Some of them came from bad experiences. How do you then begin to sift through all of that and prioritize and say, okay, you know what? I have 20 to 50 learnings in this year. How do I separate them and decide where they all fit?
Because the priorities are aligned to your ultimate goal.
Which is your purpose.
Which is your purpose. So when anything that's happening does not align with that, drop it. It's not, it's an experience. We must have experiences. But how does it help you in the journey to your purpose and your goal? If it is taking you, distracting you, it is making you feel unhappy. I mean, I know we all talk about these days, I don't feel happy, I'm not happy. But if it does make you feel unhappy and therefore you are less productive, you need to drop it. It's a bit like, we all say, I do anyway, I have social media timeouts. I need to purge, I'm not going to post, I'm not going to show any pictures, I'm not doing anything. It's because it's distracting me from my purpose.
Yeah.
So those type of things, I know it seems very, or sometimes you're like, alone time. People don't understand the value of it. I'm not saying the COVID type isolation time. Yeah. I mean, just having time
deliberately choose to
step
be alone.
Away and just have some me time to reflect on Yewande. And people don't understand the value of that. Yeah. It's so important. Yeah. It's so important.
No, I totally understand what you mean, because for me, with a lot of the things, 2021 has been a very interesting year for me. And I've had lots of learnings, along this year. So it's even trying to understand, okay, where does this one sit? And how is it relevant to my trajectory and to my purpose and to where I want to go? And to what you were saying about social media is so true. Only yesterday, I removed the Instagram app, from my main home screen. It's still in my, when you go into the main home screen and you have all the different apps, it's still there. But in my line of sight, I took it out because I realized that when I wake up, the first thing I do is go into WhatsApp and then immediately go into Instagram. And then I see everybody's messages of goodwill and all the wonderful achievements they've had in 2021, and then I begin to feel a bit down in the dumps, and I'm like, it's not productive, so just remove it.
I mean, if it's distracting you and it makes you feel, sometimes hearing other people's progress can inspire you.
Yes,
and
it can,
sometimes
for sure.
It can make you feel inadequate. So if it's making you feel inadequate or whatever, like I said, it's not that you won't come back to it. You just need a break from it. Yeah. And then maybe next week you'll be oh my God, she got that promotion. Oh, that's fantastic. How did you, and you call her up. How did you do it? Yeah. What did you do? What sort of skills do I need to add to who did you talk to? How did you talk to them? And then you'll be ready. But sometimes you're just not ready for that. True. And it just makes you feel, I should be here. And that's another thing of that you need to walk your own race and face your lane, as we always say, because if you're constantly comparing, and again, God's purpose is your individual purpose for you.
Yeah. So
he might say you're going to do this when you're 55, or someone's going to do it at 25, and that's why I have different circles around me as well. I have my egg bonds, like we say, and I have my aburas, and I have my mates. So you can just be seeing, because there's certain things that the younger ones have done we wouldn't do, because that's not how in our time we didn't do things like that. Yeah. But I'm inspired by them.
Yes, of course.
I don't want to take it as a negative in terms of I should have done this when I was 25. I'm not 25 and I can't go back there. Yeah. So what do I need to do to just keep it moving and keep moving forward? Yeah. So that's the thing with social media sometimes, when it's, I unfriend people. And just have, I won't see you for a minute. True. But I'll bring you back because I'll miss you, because I'm like, their posts are so good and I want to see it. So I'll put it back. But it's about seasons. And it's just with what we're finding now with 2020, 2021, the seasons are shorter. It could be a week. It could be a day that I just need not to have that. And then I come back and I'm like, what was I feeling like last week? And you're fine. Very so just understanding it's not winter, summer, spring, which are quarters. The season could be as much as a few hours that you just need a minute to just regroup.
Recalibrate, yeah.
Recalibrate.
Yeah. So is there a technique for prioritizing these learnings?
Is there a technique? I just say go back to if you do write them down, or if you noted down your goals for the year or for a season or whatever, and what went well, what didn't go so well, what has helped me move from 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers, and then just take those pillars I told you about. So you have to keep looking at the big different facets of your life: family, career, either your business or whatever, and your self-care. And where are you on all of that?
What if you're not the type of person who is because whilst it sounds practical, not everybody's analytical. Okay. And people process differently. So how does somebody who's not necessarily as analytical begin to develop these techniques and strategies.
I think what we also learned in this whole season of being locked down is that even if I'm not analytical, there's so many tools out there now that are making us a bit more. I can do this short course that tells me how to be a bit more reflective. It's not detailed or anything like that. It's just listening to podcasts. I'm a podcaster now. When I go on my walks, Father Lord, that's my thing. And I'm learning from other people's journeys. So that's another way to do it. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. And that's once you take that as your thing, you can learn from anybody. So what I find is that just listening to someone's life story, reading biographies, things like that, you're just seeing that, oh, I could have done it this way, or maybe I haven't even gotten there. This is where I should. So you don't have to be analytical per se. You just need to know that I need source of information because I can't know it all. Or you speak to people, your network. That's another thing that changed for me last year. In terms of I have a circle that, and they know who they are, that if I'm acting the fool, whether I'm doing self-doubt or getting a bit too cocky, they just rein me in. And it's just like, oh, thanks for that. I really needed that little slap. So, or that pat on the back, or a shoulder to cry on. So your people around you as well can help you through that process. And you have to be willing to receive it as well. Because some people aren't willing. They're like, oh, I'm doing the most. And everybody around them is like, no, you're not. But I'm definitely like, please tell me when I'm slacking or when
I'm like that as well. I always say to people that I love feedback, you know, and I don't have a problem with it. I may not like what I hear, but I will go away and reflect on it, because, you know.
It's the reflection. When you said analyzing, it's actually a point of reflection. However you're doing it, whether it's with yourself and your little notebook, with what people have said to you, your interactions. And I also find relationships, a friend always said, I just want to have meaningful relationships. I didn't understand it when they were saying it, but I get it now. That, and the different seasons are different relationships for different things. You have your work relationships. I have a friend in New York. She's my career person that calls me up and says, what are you doing? She needs to be, and when she's talking, sometimes, am I not doing it good? But she'll really hammer on that. And then I have a friend who's very much about family, and she'll talk, we should be doing this for the kids, we should be doing that for the kids. And then you have the people that work with you in terms of how to maneuver office politics and all of that. And then in terms of personal growth, in terms of, everybody knows me, my spas, my nails, that's my time. My children know, mom's going to do, we can't follow her to do that. No. You know, that type of thing. Because that's my time. That's me time. And I'm like, I'm gone. And maybe they might see me 4 hours later after the nails, after the massage, after everything, because that's what I need. So having that, and that all, and my time with my friends to go for dinner. Right? Oh, we're going for dinner. You know me. It's like, let's go for dinner. You have a good banter, mature banter, where you can just pretend, I don't have a career, I don't have children, I don't have a house, I don't have responsibilities for a couple of hours. I'm just with my friends and I'm just enjoying myself. We might be talking about those issues, but it's like right now we're with ourselves as a group of friends. So you just have to
be able to just manage everything in a different place. And can these learnings, are they, so you get your learnings through the course of the year, you're planning for 2022, you've looked at all your pillars and you're charting the course, as it were. And some of these learnings transferable. How do they relate to the next person? If we then take this back to the very beginning when you said we're social beings, you know, so are some of these learnings transferable?
Oh, definitely. Like, you know, when you're having these, like I said, this meaningful relationships, when people are discussing what they did, like a friend of mine, she said at the beginning of the year, I need to build my personal brand, and we're all looking at her. Good luck with that, and fantastic for you. Really great, you know. And everything she did in the year, because she said that to us at the beginning of the year now, so we're the fly on the wall looking at her life. Then November she says, I didn't really build my, I didn't do that. And I was like, all the speaking engagements, Auntie, you're on CNN, this one, that one. I said, how else do you, and then can you imagine, she didn't realize until someone told a third party, because sometimes you're so in your, I've got to do this, you can't see it, that you're actually achieving things. So sometimes you need a third party to say, girlfriend, pat yourself on the back, or boyfriend, pat yourself on the back. You've actually done a lot. Or even if you did it and it wasn't as successful, let's look at it. Okay, you wanted to do this thing, didn't quite hit the mark. What can we do? Who do we need to speak to? So that's how you get to look at, and how does it translate? Because if you didn't reach that goal, why didn't I reach that goal? Is this something that someone could have helped me with? Because we all think we have to do it all by ourselves, and that's a mistake. So is it that I'm not delegating enough? Is it that I have the wrong circle? Am I not networking? Am I not working my network enough? Am I not, is there some part of me that I need to develop? So those type of things, you have to just bring it together, because doing the same thing again in 2022 would be useless.
So to round up, again, being that this is January 1st, I'm not big on New Year's resolutions anymore. I'm big on learning and growing and continue that trajectory of growth. So what would you say to anybody watching now on how to simplify this process of growth, individually and collectively?
Simplifying the process of growth. Where are the gaps?
Where are the gaps? Okay.
Where are the gaps? Identify the gaps in your life. Sometimes it could be relationship gaps. It could be knowledge gaps. It could be just, are you sure you've got clarity of the purpose? And that sometimes we think we know that what God wants us to do. I'm sorry to be religious on TV, but
it's okay.
You know, it might be the wrong thing you think you've heard him say you need to do, and you're going along. Sometimes you need to just stop and just make sure, is this really the purpose? Because that's what, the frustrations and what resources you need to achieve the purpose. Because we forget, you need time, you need money, you need people, and you need that knowledge. And I think everybody should prioritize that. Growing is with acquiring knowledge. Even with this Instagram and social media we're doing, there's this 5 a.m. Female hustlers, or the quotes that they send. Sometimes you're just looking at like, why didn't I think of that? So first thing in the morning, just make sure you're either doing your meditation. I've gotten big on that now. Just time of quiet to just there's so much noise out there. You've really just got to quiet everything down to just see this. What is my purpose? What do I need? What resources do I need to achieve it on all those pillars? And then try and figure out what you need to do to make positive steps. That would be what I'd say.
Thank you so much, Yewande. And I would recommend something for you in terms of your purpose. We need to write a book.
I'm there.
Yeah?
I'm there.
Femi has written his.
Oh, Femi has. Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, so.
Yes, sir.
Mummy,
yes,
you need to write a book
Mummy needs to write
about the pillars and everything we've just talked about now. Let's just dumb it down and make it simpler for us all to actually be able to follow and not get bogged down. But thank you so much. This is a great start to 2022. I look forward to gaining more clarity on what my purpose is and trying to fill the gaps, work in purpose. So, so thank you so much. It really has been nice having you.
Thank you for having me on the first day of the year.
Yes! I told you ages ago that I'm going to have you on the show, but I need to pick the perfect time, so this was the perfect time. So thank you so much, Yewande. Really, really, really was a pleasure. So, 2022, first day, starting. Purpose, understanding your purpose, looking at the pillars in your life. You don't always have to have all the pillars, because not everybody has family or children. Well, we all have family, but not everybody has a nuclear family where they have kids and all of that. So just understanding what your pillars are, like Yewande said, looking at the gaps and how to fill those gaps, and knowing that you cannot do it alone. No man is an island. If we've learned anything else, is that we need our people around us. So as we go into 2022, thank you. Good luck. I hope you have an awesome year. And John, Helen, and myself will be with you in a few minutes to round up the show. So please stay tuned. Thank you.